Welcome back, Stassi23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And before I get started, if you like this video, please drop a thumbs up on it. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. If not, thumbs down also works. And if you like knife content and you're not already, smash that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss any of the content. All right, today I have for you the Chaves Knives Ultramar Tack. Comes in at $220 in this configuration. And the one with the green micarta scales is supposedly a Blade HQ exclusive. And the TAC stands for Tiny A Knife. You can fill in the rest. I don't want to get demonetized. Let's get some specs out of the way so you can see how small this knife really is. You have a total length of 6.125 inches. You have a blade length of 2.75 inches, so it's going to be legal in a lot of areas as long as you can have a locking knife. You have a grip area from the front of this flipper tab to the back of the scales of about 2 7/8 inches. You have a average handle thickness right at half inch. You have a closed width in the pocket from here to here of 1.02 inches, and you have blade stock thickness of 0.15, so it's a chunky monkey. And your behind the edge thickness in this area right here is around 16 thousandths, and then it comes up to about 19 thousandths up here in the flat. This is flat ground right here, hollow ground right here. And this knife, at least in the flat portion, is sharpened at 26 degrees per side. At least my example is. All right, before we go any further, let's break off with some cutting footage, and we'll be right back. All right, this is the factory edge. All right, light duty test. Of course, it's not, there goes aren't bad. So can't hold the paper right. Probably user error. All right, now we're gonna try to cut this 3/8 twisted sisal rope. We'll try to cut as many as we can. All right, I don't know how many that was, but you can see the indentation right there and right there. Not the most comfortable for down pressure, and the edge is a lot sharper up here than back here, but let's see. Yeah, the edge isn't great. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of wood shaving just to see how that edge is still catching and see how the ergos are when you're putting pressure down. All right. My suspicions were correct, pretty much. Whenever doing those downward force cuts, these hard angles on these scales, especially at the bottom right here, was eating into my hand pretty dang bad. But that said, it wasn't the worst. And I noticed, I could take that pressure off by overshooting this jimping and coming right here. And I thought that would be uncomfortable because it's, thinner right there. It was just fine. So we'll see how it does later. All right, we cut up a few different things. We got 3/8 bungee, some dense tubing, some thicker dense tubing with mesh, and some zip ties. I'm using gloves, see how it works with this little bitty knife. All right, I think I did pretty well, but even with the gloves on, I can feel this back corner right there. Not the worst though. It feels a lot better than I expected it to. The edge is okay. Alrighty, I hope y'all enjoyed that footage. I enjoyed making it for the most part, but my hands are getting worn out from doing multiple knives at a time. So let's take a closer look at this, and we'll talk about how well this did or didn't. You got that classic Ramon Chaves drop point, very, in my opinion, attractive. Mine is the black coated, and the coating did not take any damage from the cutting I did, at least. It has a nice smooth feeling to it, so they probably brought it to a decent finish underneath. You have his skull key right there, logo. I think it's pretty cool looking. And on this side, you have the blade steel, which is Bowler M390, which is a very good premium blade steel in the super steel region. You have a nice top swedge that brings that stock thickness down so you can have a point for piercing, and it still gives you some meat on the sides right here. It's still nice and thick, even though it looks a lot thinner than it actually is. You have some wide cut jimping up here that will definitely do the trick. You have a nice, large sharpening tool right there that clears the plunge line, and close it up. The action on this knife is very, very snappy. You can light switch it, or you can push button it. Either way, it comes out nice. There is no jimping on the flipper tab, and it does stick up a good bit, but I don't mind that at all. Riding on bearings, nice and smooth action. Close it back up. You have green canvas micarta scales on mine. They also had it in black G10, which is $5 cheaper. And there was a carbon fiber variant as well. And other retailers have different color micarta. I think natural already, and that's all I remember seeing. You have just flat scales, no contouring. You have T6 screws throughout. I was kind of shocked about that. You have pocket clip tap for left or right hand carry, tip up only. You do have the skull motif pocket clip, and I've heard that he on the second batch he's supposed to be given this clip and another clip that's not the skull on it. Doesn't bother me either way, but there you go. You do have a lot of tension on that pocket clip. Let me show you all what it looks like in the pocket. There you go. You don't have a whole lot sticking out. I think it's just right, especially that clip right there. Like, it really catches on the pants. That lip, definitely tight. I figured that being how small the clip was. You have a complete 1-to-1 blade to handle ratio. Took it a little close to the edge. I can rub my finger right here. I don't catch it. If you had really skinny fingers, you probably could. I could touch it if I really push down and pull my finger. But I mean, I can pull my finger like that and it's not cutting me. You have a flow through construction, 2 hourglass standoffs right there, so you could easily blow it out if you need to. No skeletonization. Easy access to that lock bar. And you also have a chamfer right there. Very easy. The lockup after all the testing is, I call that about 30% or so. Now, I will say whenever I was pushing into the rope and all the heavier stuff that I was pushing down on really hard and the wood, I did have the lock travel over to about 50% until I was done. And once I released it, it went back to where it was before. So I don't know. You have absolutely no play up or down, left or right on mine. Let's see. No play at all. It's definitely a fidgety knife. I know I saw some mods that they put thumb studs on it. I was contemplating it. I'm not sure yet. Let's see. Did I talk about everything that I want to talk about? The ergos. Okay. I'm gonna be honest about this. They're a lot better than I expected them to be. First off, the jimping is horrendous. It's way too over sharp, but that's his thing. But with this little bitty old knife, I noticed that anytime I was gonna be up in here, if I grab right here, it pushes me off the back of the scales, and it wasn't any good. But whenever I was doing cuts like that, I could easily overshoot that jimping, and I thought that being that this was thin, it was gonna hurt my finger, but it actually turned out to be not that bad. For the amount of cutting that you would actually do with such a small blade, I don't think it'd be a problem. Now, as far as these hard angles, this hard line on here, why they didn't chamfer it, I don't know. But the only time it really bothered me is doing the wood carving. Whenever I was pushing down hard, this back edge right here and this point right here was kind of eating into my hands. I talked about it after the cutting. Let's see. Anything else? I'm 50-50 about putting jimping on here because I have slipped off a few times. But I don't personally think it's really needed. Especially if you have that bigger flipper tab like that, I could push button it, no problem. My particular knife didn't come super sharp out of box. That's kind of a bummer. I mean, I haven't had too many Riots come, not wicked sharp. And as far as the clip is a little bit tight. All right, let's get some quick size comparisons out of the way. Got the Strider PT. Trying to find my small knives. Strider PT's bigger, a little bit longer. And then the smaller knife, you have the Giant Mouse Ace Riv. So it's in between those two. Let's see. Got the Chris Reeves Knives Menundi. These two are probably the closest I have in length. I don't have any that are exactly. You got the Spyderco Dragonfly 2. It is a good bit bigger than the Dragonfly. And two more. Got the Benchmade Mini Bug Out. These two are kind of similar. I mean, the Mini Bug Out is a little bit longer, probably about an 1/8 inch longer. And then you have the TRM Nerd, another one that is smaller than the TAC. Alrighty, let's get a weight and then we'll wrap it up. First in grams. Come on. First off in grams. 81.3 grams, and 2.86 ounces. So excellent. Perfect. I barely noticed this in the pocket. So my overall thoughts. I would have much rather them do a nice little chamfer around here just to make it a little bit more comfortable. They could at least knock these hard edges off of the jimping. I think it is rough, but like I said, unless you're cutting like this, like doing a saw motion, you're going to probably overshoot it, and this isn't that bad. So overall, it wasn't as bad as I expected. Super fidgety. I love the look of it. The size, pretty cool. You know, you gotta know whether the things I talked about as being, you know, nitpicks and complaints, if they bother you enough, then pass on it. Hopefully they do a thumb stud version of this, because I would like to see that. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.